So, Caleb, really interesting. I was looking at your bio. I want to go back to the beginning for you because you played at Goose Creek, out of Goose Creek, South Carolina, and Goose Creek is a juggernaut for those that don't know as far as the high school football ranks in South Carolina concerned. But the thing that I sort of forgot about you is that you actually recruited and started your career out at Wisconsin. Started your career at Wisconsin. You were redshirted that first year in 2014. But just talk about the recruiting process for you again, coming out of a big time high school like Goose Creek and then going to Wisconsin again, a team, the Badgers. They have a really, really successful program. They love to run the football. So I'm sure for you, that was like a running back's dream. But just what was the recruiting process like for you? Was South Carolina ever involved at a high school for you? And what made you decide to go to Madison and join Wisconsin?
South Carolina was involved very early. I want to say between them and Clemson were my first two offers.
Mm.
I think when I was like a sophomore or so in high school, freshman, sophomore. Um, but yeah, them and probably about 10 other schools or so. I ended up Wisconsin was actually the last school to recruit me and offer me. They recruited me and offered me like in the middle of the season. Took a visit with them and ended up committing with them. Just the situation going in, it was really ideal.
Mm.
They had Mel there, and then they had Corey. And they brought in me, another running back, Taiwan deal. So it was kind of like Mel was planning on leaving that following year, so they were planning on running, us three for the most part.
Mm.
So that was just pretty much the most ideal situation me going in. That's why I chose them.
Yeah, I was going to say you were there 2014, you redshirted, then 2015 you did play a little bit. You also spent time at defensive back. Was there ever a question for you? I mean, what your position was? I mean, again, I feel pretty solid in saying that you are a running
Yeah.
back, but I know you also played some special teams for South Carolina and stuff like that. But I mean, was that more of an experimental thing, or something that you prompt that, or like what was the deal with you going to the defensive side?
That was I don't even know where that came from, but they just because that knew the staff that recruited me, they resigned at the end of my freshman year. So them, the running back coach, everybody was gone.
Mm.
So that new staff came in, and then I can't even tell you what they were thinking or why they wanted me, but they asked me to go to corner, and at first I was telling them no, and then they asked me again. I was I'll do whatever I need to do to help the team in a whatever way. And then when I got back there, it wasn't for me.
For sure. You you sound
To
you
say the
sound kind of
least.
like AJ Turner, your former teammate who we just had on the show. He basically told me, he's
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing back there, but I just knew if I saw somebody, I was going to hit them. So whatever." Um,
that's about it.
exactly. So I know you were just there for 2 years, Caleb. I
Hmm.
know you were just there for 2 years, but you played in the Big Ten, you played in the SEC, and everybody loves to tout, the SEC is the best conference in the country, and I think it is certainly. I think it's the best football, no doubt.
Right.
But the Big Ten certainly holds its own. What was your overall experience like? I mean, if you compared it to your time at South Carolina and playing against SEC competition, how does the Big Ten compare? Would you say?
It's pretty identical, to an extent. It's basically just like the SEC is way faster. The Big Ten is way more brute. So when it comes to those are like you legit some of the biggest D linemen, O linemen you're gonna see
Mm.
when you get up there. Linebackers are always physical. They don't have a whole lot of speed up there like that. They have enough speed, but like even our defense didn't have a whole lot of like top notch players coming out of high school. When I was at
Mm.
Wisconsin, they had average 2-star, 3-star players at the most, and
Mm.
walk-ons. They were just real like fundamental sound. Like they're probably one of the most fundamentally sound conferences when it comes to just not making mistakes defense wise. And then everything is just pretty much fundamental. Offense was just control the clock, hold the ball type of thing. Then when you come to the SEC, it's just you just got athletes all over. I think the guys in the SEC, of course, are way more athletic, but I think the guys in the Big Ten are way more fundamentally sound and disciplined when it comes to like schemes and things like that. Like they don't make hardly any
Mm.
mistakes up there.